Okay, here we are, and this video series is in response to something the students mentioned to me that they didn't really kind of learn a lot in their previous modeling class relative to graphite, the graphite modeling tools. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to quickly create a stapler here, and you can see the stapler in the background, and I'm going to create a stapler here using some of these different graphite tools, and hopefully that's enough to kind of give you an idea of the workflow in using the graphite tools and in modeling, and also kind of just show you the workflow of how models are built actually. And so with that, let's go ahead and get started. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a stapler similar to what Andres is working on right now, and I just went ahead and put a couple of very basic blocks in here. I just went ahead and created standard primitive boxes, and I just kind of got them in the general shape of the stapler. And if you noticed in this, not that viewport, this viewport, that the base is actually a little wider than the black top part of the stapler. Let's call this the let's just call it the stapler top, okay? Stapler base. And that little silver part right here is a stapler strike pad, and we'll call this silver piece, the long one, is a striker. Okay, so basically 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice and dice this up so I can get it to kind of look like this this stapler. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go to the side view here, and I noticed, nope, the side view right there, and I want to. Now, I'm not going to use this as a strict template. I'm just going to kind of like do this symbolically. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to convert my model here into a, let me get this, I'm sorry, front view, I guess. Okay, I want to convert this into an editable poly. Okay, so I'm going to go select it there and right click. There it is. Right click, and then I'm going to go to Editable Poly. Okay, once I do that, I have all these options for me of what particular subcomponents I can use. I can use the vertex, I can use the edge, I can use the border, or I can use a polygon. Okay, for this right now, I'm just going to use polygon and or maybe edges for the time being. And I'm going to go ahead and open up the Graphite Modeling tools. Now, if Graphite is not available to you, you can open it up by going up here, and where did I find it? Views. And what I want is I want the ribbon up. Oh, okay. Once you know it, I kind of forgot how I open it up. But anyway, let's see here. Oh, show ribbon. No, that's not it either. Anyway, we'll just figure out how to get the ribbon up here. So in the ribbon, once you have your model into an editable poly mode, you'll notice that that when you select it, all these little different icons here appear. Okay, and once that happens, then you can go ahead and start to slice and dice this up. Now, what I mean by slice and dice is we've been modeling in this class just using general shapes and just kind of, you know, just with a very basic shapes and just kind of tweaking them here and tweaking them there to get them to approximate what we want them to look like. But with the method I'm going to show you, we're going to try to be a little more exact with modeling these things. Okay, so we notice right off the bat that we have this top part, this top plate right up here, and we notice that it has kind of these roundy little corners, and we want to model those in. On the bottom, we notice that they're a little sharper. Okay, and again, we're going to want to model those. Excuse me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm looking at this piece right here, and I notice that I have a flat bottom, but I have kind of a roundy top. So I could use the modify bend modifier here That's one option. But since I have, it's over here somewhere, there it is, bend right there. Since I want to keep the bottom flat, I don't think I'm going to do that. So what I'm going to do is just slice some more geometry in here, give me a little bit more what we call resolution, and I'll just go ahead and use that. Oh, I remember, you know, I forgot where I got the ribbon from. Here, it's this button right there. This one with a little light bulb. It gives me the ribbon, and then I can kind of like cycle through turning the ribbon on and off. Okay, so just occurred to me. So anyway, so what I want to do is I want to go ahead and introduce a slice about right here. So I can go to Edit, and I can introduce a Swift loop. Okay, and this is, I'm just doing this eyeballically, but right there. Okay, and then right-click to end the command so you don't create a whole bunch of them. Then what I want to do is I want to go into my vertex mode, and I want to select these vertexes. I want to zoom in here a little bit, and I want to push this down and bring this over. Okay, so I'm trying to emulate this kind of roundy kind of edge. Now I'm going to lift the whole system up because I noticed that this part is a little higher. Now I can introduce more loops in here and get a little bit more, get it more round here. Now I have a choice. I can do that, and then later on I can introduce a turbo smooth. Now if you introduce a turbo smooth, you probably want to increase this about 10% more, because when you turbo smooth, it's going to shrink it, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's see, turbo smooth right there. Actually, okay. Yeah, notice I just want to, it just kind of like just collapsed it all. That's okay, because we're not going to issue the turbo smooth now, but I'm going to show you what to do in order to prevent that from happening. Okay, it'll give you nice roundy corners, but it's not going to collapse everything on you. Okay, so now we kind of have that shape. I'm going to grab these in the back here and just drop those a little bit. So it's kind of like looking like that. Now in the middle here, notice I got a little, it's kind of humped up here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a couple more quick loops in here. Swift loops, I should say. Maybe like that. Kind of go back to the front view. And I'm going to hit W. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. More or less. I think it's just, you know, whatever you feel that works for you. Okay. There we go. Okay, so it's kind of like looking like that. Now I have quite a bit of a gap in here, so what I'm going to do is go back to my object mode, select it, and then lift it up. So there we go. Okay, so now I'm looking at my bottom plate here, and it looks like it does the same kind of thing where it kind of like rolls back this way. So I'm just going to go ahead and introduce a slice for that one as well. So I'm going to select it. And if you remember, okay, take this off. If you remember, it is not an editable mesh, so I need to go down, convert to Editable Poly, I should say. And now that I'm at Editable Poly, I can go ahead and select my edges, go back to Edit here, and introduce a Swift loop, and I think about right there. Okay, hit Return to Escape. Right click, and I'm actually working the way I would work in Maya, which is okay, as long as I know I'm in a different software. Okay, right there. So that kind of looks okay. Okay, and fairly much is flat until it gets back to this part right there. Okay, and kind of looks like that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and go back to the front view, zoom in a little bit. And now I have to build this structure back there. So eyeballically, it's about right there. So I'm going to select that, go back to my edges, and I'm going to go ahead and Swift loop again, another one right there. Okay, now I'm going to right click. Okay, now that's going to give me the two pieces I'm going to extrude. Now I have a little bit of a problem now, because now I need to only take out a leaf here and a leaf there. So I'm going to go ahead and again And you're going to find that you use the same tools over and over and over again. And so, like, the tools that I use the most is a tool like this Swift loop here. Right click to end it. And this tool right here, like the cut tool. Okay. Now what I want is I want to go to the face mode here. And I want to select that face. And I want to sneak in and sneak this one. Control and snake that one as well. Okay, now what I want to do is I have the extrude option right here. And up comes this little window, and boom, and you can see that it's already has a number entered in there, so I can just kind of keep on and I want to look at the picture. It's kind of about a little higher. Okay, and you can always adjust this. It's not set in stone. So once you're done with that, hit the little check mark there, right click to get out of the command, or there you go. And I'm good to go here. Now if I take a look at my picture, I might be a little high, and notice that this corner needs to come down a little bit more on my top structure here. Oh, this is kind of the only thing I don't like about is that I need to keep on going back, and I have to go back to the top before I can select something else, and that's kind of something I don't like. Vertexes. And I can just drop this down. And that makes it a little more, gives it a little bit more of a hump right here in the middle. Okay. Okay, let me go through a couple of these tools before I move on. What we've been dealing mostly with is as I've been working with this piece here. Now I'm looking at why my icons aren't showing up. I can select them here. Vertex, which virtually does the same thing, but oh, duh, they're right here. Yeah, I kind of get lost in the software. There's just so much, and you know, like in this case, these two are redundant. Okay, now look, I can grab the vertices here, I can grab the vertices there, or I can select vertices subcomponent there as well. So there's three places that I can grab them. Almost makes this whole window here redundant. But anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about is the loop selection, or I'm sorry, the selection window here. So what I can do is I can click, I have to go into Faces mode. I can select the, oh actually I think I have to be in that one, yeah. So I can select this, the edge there, and I can select loop. And what it'll do is go ahead and grab everything within that particular loop. I can grow the selection, or I can shrink the selection. Notice it just went away. Or I can grab rings, which are, I can add the selections, which work this way. So loops go longitudinally, and rings go around this way. So if I wanted to, I can then go immediately to extrude this set if I wanted to, or do whatever I wanted to. Now this is your selection set, and I would encourage you to go ahead and kind of examine what some of these do. Okay, let's see. In here, we went through the Swift loop. We haven't gone through the PC Connect yet, and we will do that in a little bit. I was just wondering if I have time to do it in this particular segment of the video. I think I'm running out of time. I can only do these videos in 15-minute chunks, so if it sounds like I'm in a hurry, that's why. Okay, let me just push off to the next video. So this is the end of video 1.